Well, I've been here for 33 years, and I taught other schools before that, and I've taught college level. This place is special.
My friend had convinced me to look at an open house at Pingry, so I came just out of curiosity. And I think it was the panel students at the open house. They just had this real excitement for the school and a love for learning. They had great poise, but they also clearly had been cultivated in an environment that not only created good students, but good human beings.
I had the sense very early on that they thought about fostering intellectual curiosity, and that was the number one thing that mattered to me and to our family.
Pingry really stood out to me because it had a really good balance of being challenging and really motivating kids and making sure they step up academically, but also being a really nurturing environment, and that was really something that I was looking for.
Going from a different school into a place where a lot of the kids have been together since kindergarten can be tough, and they really go out of their way to make sure that all the new kids and their families are included. It's difficult to even be an adult and walk into a situation where all the parents have known each other and they've, spent years together. And the parents just, I received emails from parents I'd never even met before, and I got calls, do you want to have a play date because, so-and-so wants to play with your daughter. It was unbelievably easy. And
we were very concerned about our daughter entering kindergarten for the first time because she is very shy and very reserved and very quiet. And after 3 days, she came home and said to us, "Mom, Dad, I can't wait to go back to school on Monday."
We were worried about the adjustment coming in for third grade. I wasn't sure how she would feel leaving a school, starting somewhere new, but Pingry did such a great job helping her to fit in. Starting with the buddy barbecue, which they have this spring before they started. She got to meet her buddy family, and they were really helpful in acclimating us. And then starting in the school year, I feel like the teachers were so great. She had Mrs. McIntosh for third grade, and she couldn't have been a better fit. She was so sweet.
From the first day, what I realized was that they really promote independence. I think kindergarten sort of starts out with jobs for all the kindergartners. Which I think is an amazing thing. They go into school and they have a little duty that they have to fulfill, and it really teaches them, in the role of that job, little things like math and organization and responsibility.
When we start young, the values that we talk about in the honor code are really instilled in the kids. And by the time they hit middle school, they're living the honor code. That's what they know and who they are.
One of the interesting things to notice when you're walking either in the halls here at the lower school or even at the upper school is that you'll see backpacks and computers and everything is just left around. And I think that really talks a lot about the culture that's built here because of the honor code. There are no locks on the lockers.
the kids discuss the honor code from the beginning of the year on every year. It's not just introduced in kindergarten and then slightly referenced like from years after that. It's discussed every year. The parents sign a contract saying they understand the honor code. They sign it with their child.
The kids refer to it every day. If they're asking for help on some homework assignment, they want to make sure it's not in violation of the honor code.
Honor code was extremely important to raise kids with good ethics. Honesty is a big thing in our family, and also how they communicate and work with other kids. So I just felt Pingry had the whole package.
Value that you don't read about, that you can't grasp until you're actually here, is the appreciation that the kids have for their own education. They recognize that what's happening here is special.
I love teaching at Pingry because we're trusted to design the program that works best for our kids. And the program I've designed has very little to do with the plays. That's an extra and a bonus. It's about teaching communication skills and collaboration skills so that students can work together towards a goal. I'm an alum of the Pingry School. I actually began in 2nd grade here on this campus. Mr. Corvino was my 6th grade history teacher. So it's great to come back to that sense of family.
I started at Pingry part-time and was willing to keep coming in part-time because I so wanted to be at Pingry. was so enjoying it, and now I find myself here full-time, have no regrets. I couldn't be happier. I love it.
In third grade, my child worked on the states project, and basically what it is every child is assigned a state, and they learn all about that state, including part of the state project is writing to the governors and asking the governors about information about their state, asking them for their favorite recipes, and then the children all compile these wonderful books. This year it was actually done virtually on an iPad.
Spencer, in 4th grade with Mr. Haber, was able to start to organize a crowdsourced author project where on their own they started to write a book with a bunch of friends using Google Docs. And this is something that someone like Mr. Haber just continued to encourage, develop, and let it grow by itself. It's those types of opportunities that I think will show up in middle school and high school when Spencer wants to flex those leadership muscles later.
My 5th grader this year was really excited. She came home to build her resume and to write a cover letter on why she wanted to be the assistant director in the school play. And she's involved in a lot of things outside of school, and I thought, that's a lot. Do you really have time to handle that? And she was confident, Mom, I can do it. I know how to juggle. And I'm thinking, wow, this is someone who's been paying attention to what it takes to balance multiple things.
Getting a right answer is fabulous, but teachers at Pingry are teaching our kids to think outside of the box. They're teaching them to be public speakers. They're teaching them to look someone in the eye when they're speaking to them. And they're empowering our kids to go out into the world now and one day after graduation and be successful.
I teach, and I change my teaching each year. I teach different novels, mainly because I need to be interested in them. And if you teach the same thing year after year, it becomes stale. One of the main things I look for, and when I know it's time to change, some of the novels that we read have a sad ending. If I am not in tears in front of the class, I know it is time to change novels.
For me, it's just such a special gift that I get to receive every day to watch children make art.
You need math in art, you need art in math. These things aren't sort of completely separate. They're all part of the big pot that is an individual.
I am happy that when he jumps in the car after school, that he's not complaining about the amount of work or how hard something was. He's talking about, you know, the highlights of his day. He's telling me he played football at recess. He's telling me what he had for lunch. So I know that there is a time of the day where he's really enjoying socializing or just seeing, you know, not seeing work as hard work or what he has to do in school. It's just a fun day for him.
My oldest is in 5th grade now, and yes, the homework and schoolwork has gone up. But the key thing is, I think Pingry teaches them how to organize.
We found in Pingry what we really wanted for our children, and every year we feel validated in the decision, and we brought our second child here. So I do think it's an individual decision, but for us it was the right one.
We don't have family in New Jersey, so we really have to say that Pingry and the people that we've met have become our family. Some of our best friends now are here with us, and if not, they want to be here.
It's more than the education here in Pingry. It's the relationships that you have, and sometimes you will keep forever. My son, who's been out of Pingry for 20 years, still keeps in touch with faculty members.
Mr. Buckley had my daughter for math last year, and he told me, since my husband works terrible hours, that he would actually meet my husband on the turnpike at 6 in the morning for a cup of coffee, or whatever time my husband was able to meet him on his way to work, so he could discuss my daughter's progress with him. It's amazing.
Pingry has already exceeded our expectations. I just can't even believe what is yet to come.